Horlicks Network 18, Mission Poshan, Bhavishya Roshan.
Onto a CNBC TV18 exclusive interview of the day now. Walmart's international CEO Judith McKenna tells Shereen Bhan that the company is fully cooperating with Indian regulators on the Flipkart acquisition and is confident of getting all approvals. She also added that the deal will help increase Walmart's global sourcing from India.
There are some concerns being raised about political resistance to the deal. Stakeholders like the Retailers Association raising concerns with the government, possibly even writing to the Competition Commission of India. How worried are you today?
We, first of all, we're really excited about this transaction and very excited about being part of India in a more expanded way than we are today. We're confident in the process that will occur. We understand that there are some people who have some views about this, but we're going to comply completely with anything that the authorities ask us for, and we expect this to be a smooth process.
The only approval that you require is from the Competition Commission of India, because this transaction comes under the 100% FDI route. So is that the only approval that you require from the government?
That is the approval that we require, and that's what we're complying with, yes.
Let me talk to you about the India opportunity and specifically about what changes for Flipkart with this investment coming in. In terms of the operating structure, we're given to understand that not too much is going to change. But in terms of synergies and being able to leverage that, can you give me some sense of what the blueprint looks like over the next few months?
Yeah, so you're exactly right in terms of the operating structure. That remains as it is today. We're really confident in the team that's in place, and we want them to continue to run the business just as they do today. What we're hoping is that we can bring some support to the business, in different areas, both from Walmart into Flipkart, but Flipkart out to the rest of the world as well. And from an Indian perspective, if you think about an area like sourcing, we believe there's opportunities to globally source through Walmart for certain products, but equally, we think there's a big opportunity to source out of India back into the rest of the world. It's one of our fastest growing sourcing regions already, and we'd like to make sure that we continue to do that.
What will the next steps be to operationalize this relationship and this investment, of course, post the clearance coming in from the government? In terms of the next steps, what can we expect, and about the board composition as well? Are you awaiting regulatory clearances before you announce the board?
Yeah, so clearly the first step is to get competition clearance for this, so anything that we do awaits that clearance. Beyond that, we'll start to make some plans as to what we could possibly do to be supportive, and we will wait until that time for the board to be announced. Although we fully expect that to be a mix of independent board members, minority investors, and Walmart people.
Well, shifting focus to the auto sector now, auto companies posted a strong set of sales numbers for the month of May. Bajaj Auto was the star performer, with total sales rising 30% on a year-on-year basis. Eicher Motors, however, disappointed, with total sales numbers coming in below what the street had expected. Sonia Shenoy joins us now with more details. Sonia, you have a roundup of all the numbers. Take us through how they looked.
Well, thanks for that. I think the pick of the pack really is Bajaj Auto, as you rightly pointed out. After a long time, we've heard from Rajiv Bajaj, and he did mention that things are definitely picking up on all fronts for the company. A 30% growth this time is better than what the street estimated. He has given a forecast of a 10% growth for FY19, which is better than FY18. And he says that exports are picking up quite a bit, especially markets like Nigeria, which is their mainstay. So this time around, the silver lining really is the export market and how it's picked up. He did mention that three-wheeler growth will continue, but he has other companies which have moved well too. So if you look at the likes of Maruti, you had Ashok Leyland, all delivered good numbers this time around. For Maruti, the strong sales this time was led by a 50% plus growth in the compact car segment. Overall, the total sales have gone up by about 26% Exports are up by about 48% or so. If you look at the other names, the only disappointment this time was Eicher Motors, because Royal Enfield numbers were below street estimates and less than what they did last month. This despite them sorting a lot of their supply constraint issues, yet the numbers were below expectations. So there is some amount of disappointment that we're seeing with Royal Enfield. Ashok Leyland, after having a very, very weak month of April, has recovered quite a bit in the month of May. So Ashok Leyland sales also looking pretty good. Back to you.
All right, Sonia, thank you very much for joining in. But on to some other companies also that reported their sales. M&M reported a 14% rise in total sales on a yearly basis, while tractor sales grew 14%. TVS Motors total sales grew 10%. Three-wheeler sales saw a 78% jump on a yearly basis. But on to some, breaking news that is on your screens right now. There's been some development in the Air Asia case. The CBI has summoned Tony Fernandes on the 6th of June in the case that pertains to the Air Asia, which says that there were some non-transparent dealings in the securing of license for the company. Meanwhile, sources also tell us that the ED will seek Malaysia and Singapore's help in this probe in the Air Asia case. Utkarsh Chaturvedi, who's picked up these details, joins us now. Utkarsh, what update do you have?
This is an important update, given the fact that Tony Fernandes has been summoned on the June of 6th. And remember that the FIR was filed only 2 to 3 days back, and this is the first day that somebody has been questioned. Rajendra Dubey, at this point of time, as we speak, is being questioned in the CBI headquarters. Now, Rajendra Dubey is the same person who received somewhere around 12 crore rupees in his company, which is a sham company called HNR Trading by Air Asia. Now he's being questioned right now, and Tony is being summoned on June 6th. Now, I remember that the CBI must be having something important in this investigation, so to really call Tony Fernandes on June of 6th. But we'll have to really wait and watch of how Tony really reacts to this summons, whether his legal team comes in or Tony really comes in for questioning on June of 6th. But calling him and summoning him for questioning on June of 6th is a big development.
Absolutely, Utkarsh. Thank you very much for bringing in those details. It's a developing story, and we will bring you more details throughout the day. But meanwhile, GST revenue collections for the month of May have come in at over 94,000 crore rupees, much lower than the 1 lakh crore rupees that was collected in the month of April. However, the government argues that the numbers are higher than the monthly average GST collections of over 89,800 crore rupees in the last financial year. Timsy Jaipuria joins us with a further analysis of these numbers. Timsy, a bit of a slowdown in the May collections, but that is not really worrying the government.
Well, as you rightly said, it's not worrying the government because government was expecting these numbers. The numbers that have come in, that is 94,000 odd crore rupees, which is the total GST revenue collections for the month of April recorded in the month of May, is on the expected lines. Not just this, let me run across to the breakup first. CGST is about 15,800 odd crore rupees, SGST around 21,000 odd crore rupees, IGST, a combination of IGST from imports at 49,000 odd crore rupees, and a cess at 7,300 odd crore rupees. Now remember, when you talk of the overall returns, the returns are a bit higher. That is 62.4 lakh returns have been filed for the month of April in the month of May. Now this was in the earlier month around 60 lakh figure. So that means as compliance has improved, as e-way bill has rolled out, government feels that more compliance coming in, more and more people filing their returns would actually help them achieve the monthly average of 1,10,000 odd crore rupees. But yes, as of today, these numbers are falling short of the monthly average which government has budgeted for the current fiscal. Overall, government is gung-ho. They say they've already said that these numbers are just what we have seen and would be only in the first few months of the fiscal. So let's wait and watch what actually happens when the collections for other months come in.